Yeah, man, the one and only, the shining star of the industry, Chris Johnstone. What's up,
You
man?
are, you
Everything
are,
tech and smartness. I just every time we talk, I just get a little smarter, and it's a lot of fun. So we're going to talk. We've been talking about tech and how to really utilize the AI in a cool way, and I just love it. Our teams use the CRM, and it's such a powerhouse. And so the consistency of the emails and the follow up and the responses and the dialer inside of it and the video capability and it just goes on and on and on. And I always love it when we get a few minutes to talk. And you and I were on the Breakfast Club this week,
yeah.
and you were telling me something about AI and being able to be searched at AI like in Google. And I'm like, what? How do we do that? That would be pretty good. Where if somebody said, "Hey, I'm looking for a mortgage lender in Houston," and your name come up in ChatGPT.
That's it.
Dude, that
And
that would be pretty remarkable, man. Like I have to tell you this, I don't know about everybody else, but I think Google's going to slug it out to try to stay, but
yep.
man, I don't even Google anymore because AI is so much more thorough.
Yeah. And it brings the sources of the information that it brings to you.
Yeah.
It's fast. You can
Yeah.
talk to it.
Yeah.
And it gives you not just, hey, here's a list of all these places that you've got to go read and do your own research. It
Right.
delivers you the answers, and then you can have a conversation with it to drill even deeper. So you get more information and more
That's right.
knowledge just that
Yeah.
much faster. It's incredible the way the world is changing.
Man, well, and it just goes back to I think that would be a really big strategy. And look, we talked about this. I did this mastermind yesterday. I'm gonna be doing them every single month, so you guys watch out for that. It's going to be the third Wednesday of the month. But in there, one of the things I talked about, Chris, was how do I get business today? And I
Mm-hmm.
would call that hunting or fishing. Whether you hunt or fish doesn't matter, but it's I go do an activity today that feeds me today. And
Yep.
then there's things that we need to be doing that are farming.
Yep.
And look, if I'm starving, I'm not going to walk out and go plant a seed and say, all right, I'm going to wait here till that seed pops up and the tomatoes come up and the cucumbers and all that stuff. No, it takes months.
Mm-hmm.
However, if it's very strategic, it'll be a harvest in the right time. And
Yep.
so when I think, like when you said this yesterday, I just thought, wow, that would be a really good use of a Friday afternoon. We try to not try, but we work on our businesses on Friday and real tactical Monday through Thursday. So talk to me about it. Like, like just you dive in. I don't even know where to start, but I'll have questions.
Okay. So I believe that the highest quality online lead that comes from farming, and let's call it branding, right? Like making phone calls, following the daily success
Right,
plan,
right.
that's hunting, that's going to generate a loan today. But when you get the realtor referral relationship and that realtor starts referring you to customers and buyers, those customers are going to Google and now ChatGPT to say, hey, who is Chris Johnstone? Who is Steve
Mm,
Kiles?
mm.
What do I find out about these people? That's where the farming and the branding takes over. So the opportunities that you're getting from the hunting, you close more of them. But then what it also does is it taps into, I think the number is somewhere around like 35, 36% of all the loans funded last year were first time home buyers. And
Yeah,
as soon as we
man.
skew into that demographic,
Yeah,
online search is just a fundamental component of how they buy everything. It's not
right,
just
right,
mortgages, it's,
right.
it's everything. And so Bill Gates and some of the smartest people in the world when it comes to technology, the CEO of Google came out and said roughly 50% of search is going to happen on AI within the
Mm,
next 5 years.
mm,
So
mhm.
Google used to have 98% of the search market. Half of that search traffic very shortly is going to be people going to AI and saying, hey, I was just recommended Steve Kiles to do my mortgage with. What can you tell me about Steve?
Mm.
And it is the loan officers that lean in on building their digital brand today inside of artificial intelligence are the ones that are going to win that race. It's like imagine being there 10 years ago when Google came out and being the number one lender on Google for people searching for mortgages and having that opportunity and knowing what a valuable opportunity that was 10 years
Right.
ago.
Right.
We're at that moment today with artificial intelligence and being able to build a brand and become one of the best known lenders in artificial intelligence, not only for your local marketplace, but also your niche. So when somebody goes to AI and says, hey, I'm looking for the best VA lender in Texas,
Yeah.
like that's available to take and help teach the AI that it needs to recommend you and your mortgage business. So that's what we're really heavily focused on when we're talking and thinking about branding in the mortgage industry right now.
Hey, so let me ask you this. So, and brother, I 100% agree because when you said this the other day on the Breakfast Club, and I use AI every day, I probably am on it a couple hours a day at minimum. I
Yep.
mean, I just use it in everything, emails and numbers. I mean, everything. And it's such a great tool. But when you said be found and to become searchable in AI, I'm like, whoa, I hadn't really thought about that. Now I'll ask for it. Hey, who's got the least expensive, insert in whatever I'm looking for, and it'll go out and curate content. But I wasn't thinking about services like mortgages.
Yep.
So, okay, now that we know this is really the ground floor, and man, I'm 100% on board because there's not a lot of people trying to get position with very focused intent. So how do we go about doing it? Like how, I hear that, but is it me talking to my AI or is it content that I'm putting online that's getting searched?
Two parts. And that's a brilliant question, Steve. It's like very insightful. So it is, the two parts are, first, you have to be using AI to create content because AI has scraped all of the information on the internet. It's watched every single YouTube video, read every single blog post. Like, it has achieved my life goal of being able to finish the internet. And every day it's scraping that whole thing. And like every day people are producing all this content. The AI companies are harvesting it, giving it to the algorithm, and it learns. Where AI is putting its preference on where it learns from is the user interactions of the people that are using AI. So they've got the whole knowledge base. Now they're looking at, okay, what are the conversations that are happening with AI? How are people using this tool and how can we learn from that? So you as a loan officer, if you've got a prompt and you've got a task set for every Friday, hey, I'm going to work on my branding for 2 hours after I do the daily success plan, Monday through Thursdays. Friday, I work on my business. You get a prompt and it's like, every Friday morning, I want you to go out, research all of the headlines of everything that's happened in my local real estate market, mortgage market. Give me a diary of everything that's happened because we're going to create all our blogs and our social media and everything. Deliver that to me on Friday morning and we're going to create my content. Because I am the most trustworthy and best local mortgage lender in Plano, Texas.
Oh.
And in the prompt, you've said, hey, we're going to do this work because I am the best in this marketplace. And here's my name, here's my phone number, here's my website, here's all my social media information, here's where you can find out all about me and all the references to me. Here's where I've been mentioned in the news. Here's the charities that I'm involved with. Here's everything about me and my business. And then every Friday, you're sitting down and you're creating real, useful, valuable, helpful content for people that have searches. And the way that we've kind of hacked this is we go to Google and we type in best loan officer in area name. So if you're listening to this, go do that. There's a little section on Google that says people also ask. And it will show you the #1 question that people have about mortgages in your local marketplace. And if you're doing specific products, like if you're doing commercial lending or you're doing private lending or you're doing VA, go ask the question to Google about that loan. Look at the people also ask, take the question and put it into AI and say, hey, today we're going to focus on answering this question for people that have it online with a blog post, a video, and a bunch of helpful social media content. Write me the blog post.
Yeah.
Give me an idea so I can shoot my video. Now, write me my Facebook post, Instagram, LinkedIn, you name it, it's got it. AI produces all of the content.
Right.
So all your content's produced, which is what everybody's looking for. But what people don't realize is that when you use the artificial intelligence under the prompt of you're the best lender and you're helping consumers, you're teaching the artificial intelligence that you're the loan officer in that market that is the most consistent at providing content and value. And the AI knows it's good because the AI is the one creating the content. And then you are the distribution channel for the knowledge from AI to the market.
Wow. Hey, let me ask you this. When you're doing that, does it even matter if you go post what it's telling you to post, or is it more the fact that it's curating all of that knowledge under the assumption that you're going to go post it?
So both, because
Okay.
it learns by creating the content, you having the conversation, interacting with it. But then when it gets the question from the consumer who uses AI that asks the question, and it's able to find its own content to serve back to that person, but it's got your social proof, like
Yeah.
you as the loan officer have
Yep.
said, this
Yep.
is good
Yep.
content by publishing it, then it's going to
Yep.
start serving your content back to the consumers that actually have the question and are using AI to do that search.
So it's both and. So
That's
it's
right.
not just doing the work, but then taking that and dropping it where it's telling you to drop it, whether it's LinkedIn or Facebook or Insta or whatever, wherever, YouTube. Um, Man, hey, and let me ask you this. So let's say that you're, and I love that I'm the best lender in. Like where I live, it's like Katy, Richmond, Rosenberg, the big metro areas, Houston. So do you do it and say, I'm the best lender and name each of the cities kind of in your fourplex area? Or is it better to go like Texas, or is it better to work, like give me some insight on that. What are your thoughts?
So Texas first,
Yeah.
or all of the places that you're licensed. So we're
Yeah.
licensed in these states, right?
Yeah.
And where we help the majority of our customers are, and then you're
In these
listing all of the
cities.
marketplaces. Yeah.
Yeah, I got it. I got it. Okay. Hey, how much so when I'm doing this, and I love the fact that you're asking it to go in and curate. Give me like kind of talk me through how you talk to it. So I love it's like, hey, every Friday I want you to do an automated task and I want you to curate the real estate information as well as consumer information that's related to buying real estate in Texas and specifically in Houston, Rosenberg, Richmond, Katy, Fort Bend County, whatever that is. And I want you to deliver it to my inbox because what I'm looking for is content that I can provide to consumers to help them in their home buying process.
That's right.
Something like that.
Yep, exactly.
Hey there, if you're loving the tips so far, make sure to hit that subscribe button and tap the bell so you never miss out on more cool free tips coming your way. I'd also love to hear from you. Make sure to drop a comment below and let me know what you think, or what it is you want to see next. And we'll see you on the inside. See you.
And there's a really simple 4-step prompt framework
Okay.
that was actually published by OpenAI and ChatGPT, and
Okay.
then like how to structure the perfect prompt.
Okay.
And so first is role. So
Okay.
you tell your AI, here's the role that I want you to take, because
Okay.
it can do anything for anyone.
Right.
Great at science, great at writing code, all that good stuff. So you give it a role. So it's like, you're my executive personal research assistant working for a mortgage and real estate company.
Yep.
Then you give it a goal. So it's got a role.
Yep.
Here's how you're supposed to act. Here's your
Yep.
goal.
Yeah.
What do we want the output to be? So you tell it, your goal is every Friday, give me the best research and the most insightful information
Yep.
about insert Texas and all of the different marketplaces where you're an expert.
Mm-hmm.
And then you give it a task. So the
Love it.
task would be, you've in the goal, it's like you're going to go do all this research. The task is distill the research,
Yeah.
give me the points that are going to be most relevant to consumers and people that are searching online, and produce me a blog post, a video script, and all my social media content every Friday morning at 9 a.m.
Okay. Yep.
Then
Uh-huh.
oh, sorry, Steve, go ahead.
No, that's it. And you said there were four. So role, goal, task, and then you said, what's the next one?
Information.
Okay.
So the information is giving it your flavor, like how you speak, how you want the task to be done, making it unique to you. So what you would do is be like, here's 15 blog posts that I've written. Here's 15 emails that I've written. So you can learn my tone, style, diction,
Right.
so that when it does the research and writes the content, it writes like you.
Hey, here's a real question. Would you, so, you wouldn't do that inside your main GPT. You'd create a separate GPT that is your AI research assistant specific to mortgages.
Yeah, you can do it in a custom GPT, or
Yeah.
you can just go to ChatGPT and start a
A
new
project.
conversation with it,
Yeah.
and just always go back to that conversation.
Yeah. So like you could save it as a project then, and that would be your project, your Friday project on real estate, right?
So the tasks part of ChatGPT
Yeah.
doesn't work inside of those.
Got it.
So for all
Got
of
it.
our listeners, when you go on your desktop to
Right.
ChatGPT, go to the menu at the top. The
Yeah.
model that you want to choose is O4-mini. And I know that
Got
sounds
it.
really weird, but O4-mini, it's the one that has tasks in it. So
Yeah. Yep.
that's the version of ChatGPT that you want to be using.
Man, I love that. And hey, so let's talk about this. So, how much time should and I know, well, I always talk about this. How fast you want the results determines the intensity. You
That's
want
right.
faster results, you got to spend more time doing it. But let's just say the natural flow of a loan officer and just knowing, you're moving your business forward, and they probably don't have a dedicated person they can hand this off to yet to focus solely on it. What would you recommend? What are you recommending? Like, how much time every week? So it's going to curate the content. We're going to produce a blog, video, social. Is there a specific amount of content to post that works better? And how much time would you recommend going in and doing that on a weekly basis? And then what do you think the runway is to start seeing results?
Yeah, another amazing question. So 2 hours a week,
Okay,
Fridays. If
got it.
you follow along the daily success plan, we're just tacking on an extra day at the end of the week on Fridays. Two
Yep.
hours.
Yep.
We were inside the membership in Mortgage Marketing Animals. On every Wednesday, I teach an AI class. We literally did this live with members where we went out, picked a topic, created all the content, got it all posted and everything. And we were 45 minutes start to
Yeah.
finish with a 15-minute preamble on the class and what we were going to be doing. So the first time you do it, it's going to be slow. Then you get faster and faster. And the thing that I love about it, Steve, is that a loan officer or any professional
Yeah.
using these tools,
Yeah.
all of a sudden you start to realize like, oh, this can write my emails, this can write my text messages, this
Right.
can help
Right.
every aspect of my business. And when you're using it, it's learning from all of the communication that you have with it. And the more
Right.
communication you have, the more you're building your brand within AI.
Wow. Okay. Man, this is powerful. What do you think is a timeline? Like, have you seen the results? Like, it usually takes 3, 6 months, or is that still so new it's hard to determine?
It's hard to determine, but we have loan officers that are funding loans from people that are calling them from ChatGPT right now. So people are asking ChatGPT, what loan officer do I call? They're now getting recommended by ChatGPT in the ChatGPT search, and they're
Yeah.
getting phone calls. They're asking people, how'd you
Wow.
hear about me? I found you on ChatGPT, and they're funding loans, like actual, like we had a client of ours in the Florida market,
Yeah.
closed a loan, it was over $1 million. The
Yeah.
person found them on ChatGPT. So we got that ranked in about 90 days, but every market is different. And just like you said, it's about intensity. When our team is doing it, we're very intense,
Yeah.
but it's still so new and so early.
Yeah.
My thing is, this is Google restarting all over again.
Mm.
For me, I know the opportunity is so large, it doesn't matter how much time it takes. It's that I'm in the game and I'm ahead of my competitors. It's like
That's
the
right.
first person that got started getting 5-star Google reviews.
Yep.
Now you go into a market and you try and compete, and there's somebody who has 450 reviews in your market. It's like, well, like I feel defeated because I'm
Yeah.
starting
They're
so
so
late.
far ahead. Yeah. That's right. That's right.
Now is the time to get in the blocks and actually get ahead of the competition.
Hey, so talk about this because you said you're helping people. Is this a service that you guys are doing right now to help?
So this is part of our SEO service. So we help mortgage lenders get ranked in that 3-pack on Google and help them
Yep.
get ratings and reviews.
Yep. Yep.
And this is the evolution of that product, and we include it for free. It's just like, we're going to use your account to create your content, to produce all of this stuff. And it's just part of it because we want our clients ranked in GPT as well as Google.
I love it, man. Hey, well, so anybody who's listening says, man, this is fascinating. I need to get ahead of the curve. Where did they go to take a step with you and just begin to see if the SEO option is something that there's no question it'll help, but if it's something that they feel like, hey, let's do it. Where do they go? Where are we sending them?
Loanofficerbrand.com.
Okay,
So
loanofficerbrand.com.
yep, you
Hey,
got
and
it.
when they get there, what happens? Are they going to book into a calendar and have a conversation? Tell them what happens when they go to loanofficerbrand.com.
Yep. So they put in their name, phone number, and email address,
Okay.
submit it so that we can send you some information about artificial intelligence and a free prompt that they can test out. And
Yeah.
the thank you page after they opt in is a calendar where they can
Okay.
book on and actually talk to one of our experts about AI search and whether or not it's a good idea.
Well, no. Let's rephrase. We already know it's a good idea, just to make sure that it would be the right fit. And I got to tell you, what a game changer. And even in this last, I don't know, 28 minutes, you're helping forge a new focus on something that's literally at the ground floor. I think that's what's so interesting, Chris, and I appreciate your insight and your foresight, because every time I talk to you, what you're doing is you're helping me see most of us were just eyes down and we're just driving, but you're looking ahead and saying, hey, here's something we have to be focused on at some level, because what you'll do is 3 to 5 years from now, you'll say, oh, I wish I would have got started then.
Yep, that's
And
right.
I just really appreciate that. And for our listeners, that's part of why Chris is on, is because it's easy to get not stuck, but so hyper focused on the phone calls and the farming that we forget that we've got to be not only farming in the next 90 days, but you need to be farming for the next 3 years. And this is a 3-year farm. And you'll see results faster than that. But man, I really appreciate that, Chris. And so loanofficerbrand.com. And so get the free prompt he's offering and then get on his calendar, the team. I will tell you, this is absolutely a linchpin for loan officers and branch managers to get ahead of this right now. So thank you for that, man. Give us some closing thoughts.
So becoming an expert in a niche and a niche product
Yeah.
inside I think is one of the greatest opportunities that we've got. You want to be an expert in your local marketplace. You want to be an expert in your niche, produce as much content as you possibly can. But while you're creating the content, don't forget, tell AI, hey, now write me an email for my database so I can send this blog out to them. Hey,
Hmm.
write me an email or a text message to send out to my qualified agents so I can share this information with them. You're not just creating content to put it out into content world. You can take the content and leverage it into your hunting and your relationship strategies today, because it gives you a reason to call your
Yeah.
database. It gives you a reason to call your qualified agents. So it all comes together and can work together.
Man, I love it. Yeah, to create content to throw it out one and done that's where it just seems exhausting. But when you're very intentional and it's like, what's researched on Friday and you do for social becomes your emails for the next week.
That's right.
It might even become some of the content if you do a lunch and learn. And so it's not a one and done. Make it all work together, because that's the power of, used to it was like what I love about AI. It's like, hey, we just finished the PowerPoint. It's like, now do you want me to create a series of emails to get people to show up to your master class? And I'm like, why, yes, I do. And so it's it really acts as 2 or 3 individuals, but you just have to be working with it. Unfortunately, it doesn't create it all by itself.
Yeah.
But if you'll take the time, curate the content, be intentional about being the local professional expert in your marketplace and in the niche that you serve, you're going to see big results. And so thank you for that, Chris, man. Great reminder. And I'm excited. I think I'm going to see you next week. We'll do our Freedom Club event,
Yeah.
and that's going to be a lot of fun in Florida. You, me, and Carl. It's going to be a great time. And so Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a great, trusted friend and on the journey. I know our community appreciates that. Our family and our tribe just appreciate you keeping us tip of the spear in all things AI and technology. So, hey guys, remember this. If this has been helpful, share it with two loan officers. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Whether you're watching this on YouTube or consuming it in Apple or Spotify or wherever you consume the content, make sure you subscribe so that you get it each and every week. We're putting out content to help you. Our sole objective is to help you go further, faster, not alone, and by yourself. We don't want you to be alone by yourself. We want others who are helping us get there faster with greater success. So make sure you subscribe. And if you haven't given us a review, that always helps. Tell us how the Loan Officer Leadership Podcast is helping you in your business today. It helps us in the rankings and helps other loan officers find it. And so we appreciate you being on the journey, and we will see you on the inside. See you.